Hey everybody, I'm Scott McMurray with Scott McMurray Golf. Today I'm going to talk about the setup and the common flaws I see every day that hinder us from taking a good golf swing. I'm going to talk about a drill that helps us get into a good setup position and some common things you can check at home so you know you're in the proper spot. First of all, I want to cover a good setup. Remember, when we're playing golf, we want to be athletic, so we want good balance to the ground. In golf, we want to keep that balance throughout the swing. That's called dynamic balance. Some of the common things we're looking for in good setup mechanics is connection with our arms and the side of our body, a good forward bend with our shoulders, a nice knee flex so we can maintain that forward bend. Looks like our chest is at the ground. And if we look at the front view, I have good shoulder tilt. That'd be about 15 degrees of right shoulder tilt. Now let me go into some of the common flaws I see every day. Golf's tough. There's a lot of things to think about. So a lot of things going through your mind. Something as common as a setup doesn't seem important. One of the biggest flaws I see is just laziness. The ball's here. I don't think of the setup being important. I'm worried about my shot and the results of the shot. And I just reach out with my arms, bend my legs. Now look at this. I have no forward bend, way too much knee bend, and I'm never really going to hit the ball on the ground. Big air. One of the things we want to look at when we're thinking about setup is our head and our hips want to be in two different spots, and I do that with forward bend. Not only do I want to have that at setup, I want to maintain that throughout the entire swing. If I were to happen to extend my body early, once again, we're going to have a tough time hitting the ground. Another big flaw I see, how far do I stand from the ball? That comes into the thought of connection. If I'm connected with my arms and the side of my chest, and I think of forward bend, lowering the club with forward bend, notice how the arms or the hands about a hand width from my pelvis, and the arms are hanging directly under my shoulders. I see this all the time. People reaching too far, so they're disconnected. They're going to use their arms now. Or once again, just reaching out, standing way too close to it, and now your body's in the way when it comes to rotary and turning. So our drill is going to help us with that today. Balance, folks. That's what we want to think of. Balance and maintaining our balance throughout the swing. Another big flaw I see. I set up from the front view, and my shoulders are very square. I'm trying to scoop up on the ball, or I see this where I have forward lean and I actually have left shoulder tilt. So hopefully looking at these common areas, giving you this drill, if you go through this drill at home after repetitions, you're going to find out where you need to be in your setup and you're going to get comfortable with it. So let's take a minute and go through the drill. We'll show it from the downline view. The drill's simple. I'd have you stand up with full extension. Notice how my arms are connected to my body. I'm not actually reaching for it. And the key word, I have extension. Now, we want to limit our moves one at a time. So the first move I'm going to make is a bend from the waist to give myself shoulder bend. I'm going to actually sole this golf club by forward shoulder bend. I don't want to just reach down and put it on the ground with my arms. So let's do that again the right way. Bend, bend, bend. Keep your head up and tall. Good. Drop our hands a little bit. Now the next step would be to flex our knees. So I have good knee flex. If I have too much bend, look what it does to my shoulder bend. Good. So let's do that drill one more time. Connection. Shoulder bend to sole the club, a slight knee flex. Now if we hone in on the wrist, another common flaw I see with the setup, people actually try to do it. They'll get their wrist in this position very flat and try to set up here. Well, let me tell you, my friends, without this ulnar deviation, we're never going to hit the ball well. We're never going to hit down through the ball. Very common error. This is soaking you in power. accuracy, and just a good low point, hitting the ground in the same spot every time. So, some common flaws I see in the setup every day that hurt us from taking a good golf swing. And once again, let's go through the drill and the good positions to help us get out of that, to help us work on a good setup. So, forward bend, sole of the club, slight knee flex. Now you may find to keep my forward bend to have this area here, that's why I want you to check that, you might have to pop your feet back a little bit, get your heels back on a line. Keep in mind, folks, the balance I want you to have is right over the shoelaces. Good balance doesn't mean we have too much weight on the heels or way too much weight on the toes. So to close today, a setup is the second part of our pre-shot fundamentals. A checklist we have to think about before we even take our swing. We have a good grip, and we talk about how to grip the club in a previous video. Today, we're focused on the setup. And if we don't have a good setup and maintain that setup through the swing, we're not even going to hit the ground. We're going to extend our body and have to make corrections, causing us to be inconsistent. So, let's go through the drill one more time. Let's talk about the proper positions, the commonalities. Let's do it from the front view. Shoulder width apart with the feet, extension, connected arms with the side of my chest, sole in the club with forward bend, forward shoulder bend, and a slat knee flex. Good. Doing it from the rear view. Hold the club right out in front of you, nice extension. Shoulder bend, knee flex, good. I have ulnar deviation or I don't have flat wrist. Perfect. Now, I promise you folks, it seems like a lot and golf is tough, but if we take the time to do the pre-shot fundamentals correctly, a good grip and a good setup, and we start checking some of those areas, the handle about a hand width from my body, I still have forward shoulder bend, I don't have too much knee bend, my tilt of the shoulders looks pretty good. I promise you, we are going to play better golf. So get the reps in, feel the positions, get comfortable with it, subscribe, and in the subscription, put a comment if you have any questions or your worst golf flaw. I'll try to answer as many as possible. If you need a lesson today, go to scottmcmurraygolf.com, and I do promise you, you will play better golf.